Hello, you're watching VNews Bulletin from Hanoi. Let's check out the highlights.
President Trương Tấn Sang receives young Vietnamese expatriates. National Assembly Standing Committee convenes. Mũi Né among top 11 take-free paradises.
President Trương Tấn Sang on July 2014 met over 100 young Vietnamese expatriates who returned home to take part in a summer camp, which will last until the end of this month.
During the meeting, State President Trương Tấn Sang asked young Vietnamese expatriates to vigorously pursue their studies, accumulate knowledge on advanced science and technology, and act as bridge between Vietnam and their host country. He said he believed the camp's activities, which should take participants to major landmarks all across the nation, will help young expatriates be proud of their homeland, become cultural ambassadors to introduce the country to international friends, and join hands with those at home in the nation-building cause. Participants expressed hope that state agencies could organize additional exchange activities to connect Vietnamese youth at home and abroad, and provide Vietnamese language books for overseas Vietnamese students. This year's summer camp gathers more than 160 young Vietnamese expatriates from 22 countries and territories across the world.
The 39th session of the 13th National Assembly Standing Committee took place in Hanoi on July 2014 to review outcomes of the 9th sitting of the legislature and prepare for its next meeting.
National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng said the 9th session was successful and productive. Regarding the preparation for the 10th session, Chairman Hùng said the meeting will discuss and pass a number of bills and review socio-economic affairs, national defense and security, and external affairs over the past years. Most members of the Standing Committee approved of a proposal on the 10th session agenda, under which lawmakers are expected to consider and adopt 16 bills and 1 draft resolution. The session will also give feedback on 10 draft laws and reports on the socio-economic situation between 2011 and 2015 and next year's tasks. Other items on the proposed agenda include reports on the implementation of the state budget estimates and allocation, and the capital investment plan for the state budget.
The third theory conference between the Communist Party of Vietnam and the Laos People's Revolutionary Party was convened in Hanoi on July 2014. The event focuses on the development of socialist-oriented market economy in the two countries.
Participants at the event said that achievements recorded by Vietnam and Laos during the renewal process have proven the two parties' sound policies and guidelines in developing a socialist-oriented market economy. However, much remains to be done, they said, pointing out a range of difficulties and challenges amidst the complicated developments of the world and the region. The conference offered a chance for scientists and managers to share experience, both theoretically and realistically, in socialist-oriented market economic development in each country. They also discussed ways to ease adverse impacts of the socialist-oriented market economy.
Vietnam and 15 other nations in Asia-Pacific started a new round of negotiation for the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership in Malaysia to eliminate import duties.
At the meeting on July 13th, participants also focused their discussion on issues related to trading and investment when the trade deal takes effect. Measures to liberalize services and investment were also on the spotlight, apart from those regarding intellectual property, certificate of origin, and mechanism. The meeting was a good chance for participating countries to set forth solutions to issues included in the agenda of all the rounds of negotiation in Myanmar and the Republic of Korea. Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership is a proposed free trade agreement between 10 ASEAN countries and their 6 trading partners in the region. Parties concerned kickstarted negotiations for the deal in 2012 with the hope of turning the Asia-Pacific Free Trade Area into the world's largest one.
Export opportunities arising from the Vietnam Republic of Korea Free Trade Agreement were highlighted at a recent workshop in Hanoi. More details in the following report.
The workshop aimed to have Vietnamese businesses update consumption trends in the Republic of Korea and subsequently seize export opportunities from the Free Trade Agreement. Vietnam and the Republic of Korea signed the trade deal in May with a hope of bringing the bilateral trade turnover to $70 billion in 2020. Participants noted that the Republic of Korea has affirmed trade liberalization for more than 97% of Vietnamese imports. The trade deal was set to facilitate Vietnamese staples to make inroads into the East Asian market. Vietnam's agro-aquatic products, garment and textiles, and wooden products, amongst others, will be main beneficiaries of the deal. Of note, the Republic of Korea is to lift more than 95% of its tariffs levied on Vietnamese products. Participants also suggested domestic exporters be well prepared to meet technical requirements of Korean importers.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is in the process of building a decree on policies encouraging foreign investments in agriculture and rural areas.
In a bid to attract more foreign investors in the sector, the ministry will propose an exemption of corporate income tax for FDI firms investing in extremely disadvantaged areas. Accordingly, the enterprises will enjoy a 4-year tax exemption and a discount of half of the tax they have to pay in the next 9 years. Besides, those investing in vocational training and social infrastructure will also benefit from the policies.
Deputy Prime Minister Hoàng Trung Hải recently instructed the establishment and construction of 2 entrepôts in the northern provinces of Lạng Sơn and Cao Bằng to facilitate import and export.
Accordingly, the People's Committees of both provinces will consider their respective practical demand for imports and exports, as well as their budgets, to make decisions on the construction. The aim of these projects is to address barriers to exports at the border gate, accelerate customs clearance, and mitigate damage to local produce. Lạng Sơn and Cao Bằng provinces will work with relevant ministries and agencies to receive instructions on mechanism and policies for implementation of the projects.
Moving on to other news, the State Bank of Vietnam has allowed some lenders to raise their credit growth ceiling this year in a move to boost economic growth.
The central bank has also directed lenders to draw up credit risk management measures and pledged to implement them to better control bad debt. The measures must be submitted to the bank before July 31st. The lenders are also required to ensure that the credit system is focused on production and trading, especially in agriculture and rural industries, exports and supporting industries, small and medium-sized firms, and high-tech firms. In addition, the lenders have to closely supervise lending to risky sectors, such as real estate and those that take a long time for capital retrieval. This is the 4th year that the central bank has fixed a credit growth ceiling for each bank. As the country's credit growth rose nearly 6% in the first half of the year against December last year, the central bank said the bank could lift the credit growth target this year from 13 to 15%, which was set earlier this year at 17% to boost economic growth.
Ho Chi Minh City will focus on improving the business environment and streamline administrative procedures this year and the years to come to make life easier for investors.
The city will reduce the time for tax payment to no more than 121.5 hours per year. Goods export to 13 days and goods import to 14 days. Business registration to 3 days and business closure from 60 months to 30 months. These reforms will be carried from now to the year end. Next year, the time needed for registering for rights to ownership and use of assets will be brought down from 57 days to 14 days, settling trade disputes from 400 days to 200 days, and processing a bankruptcy request from 60 months to 24 months. According to the municipal authorities, the competitiveness of the city is still lower than a lot of other provinces in the country. Of the 10 sub-indexes in the Provincial Competitive Index, Ho Chi Minh City has 7 below average. After 10 years of the Provincial Competitive Index survey, Ho Chi Minh City got into the top 5 of the best-governed cities and provinces in Vietnam, but its ranking was still below Da Nang, Đồng Tháp, and Lào Cai, though it is an attractive destination for many domestic and foreign investors.
All 5 Vietnamese students participating at the International Physics Olympiad 2015 in India have won medals, including 3 golds, according to the Ministry of Education and Training.
Vũ Thành Trung Nam from Hanoi Amsterdam School, Nguyễn Công Thành from Trần Phú School in Hải Phòng, and Đinh Thị Hương Thảo from Nam Định Province Lê Hồng Phong School all won gold medals. The 2 silver medals went to Nguyễn Ngọc Khánh from Nghệ An Province Phan Bội Châu School and Nguyễn Quảng Nam from the Hanoi National University of Education's High School for Gifted. The ministry said this was the best result a Vietnamese physics team had ever achieved at the event, helping the team finish 3rd after China and Taipei.
The U.S. online newspaper Huffington Post has cited Mũi Né among the top 11 stunning places without Wi-Fi that visitors can actually enjoy the view.
According to the website, travel is healthy because it helps us unplug, open our minds, and break away from the burnout that so often gets us into a rut. But unfortunately, even when the average American manages to get away from the desk for a rare vacation, it is almost impossible to unplug. A 2014 survey found that 42% of employees feel obligated to check their work email while on vacation, says the Huffington Post. The newspaper said that these are ideal places for a digital detox because they have either limited Wi-Fi connectivity or none at all. Other places in the top include Palawan Islands of Philippines, Osa Peninsula of Costa Rica, and Serengeti National Park of Tanzania.
The average room rate in Ho Chi Minh City dropped 5% quarterly and 3% annually to $70 per room a night in the second quarter of 2015, reported the real estate service provider Service Vietnam.
This was the lowest average room rate recorded over the past 5 years, owing to an increase in supply and fierce market competition. Ho Chi Minh City added 543-star hotel rooms from 6 new and 1 refurbished hotel and 446 5-star rooms during the quarter. The city currently has 106 hotels offering approximately 13,000 rooms, up 6% quarterly and 10% yearly. 9 more hotels supplying over 1,100 rooms are expected to be operational by the end of this year, including 3 5-star and 6 3-star hotels. As the low tourism season, the average occupancy in the second quarter was 64%, down 6% from the first quarter. International arrivals to the city in the first half of 2015 rose by 3% compared to the same period last year, to more than 2.16 million visitors, accounting for 46% of its yearly target. The local tourism sector generated over $2.16 billion during the first 6 months, an increase of 7%.
That concludes our program. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.